So, I was watching the news Sunday at my parents' house, and the thought just kind of popped into my head. It was like, listening to the Democrats talk about how much they just, the immigrants, we really just want so many immigrants. And, the prevalent thought is always, they figured out that people will vote along the lines that benefit them, right? So if they listen to a candidate, and that candidate is mostly saying things that benefit you, right? You're probably going to be like, that's my dude or lady, right? So I think they figured that shit out. And if they flood the country with immigrants and make like they're going to fucking give them everything, if they can ever get it to where they can vote, they're going to vote for them. And in those instances wherein they vote even though they can't, they're going to vote for them. So it's a win-win for them no matter what. Even if they break the law, we still benefit. Alright? So, that's a pretty fair assumption. That's a fairly reasonable logic stream, I think. Right? Because it's certainly not because they care about them. They don't. Really? If they really gave a shit about them, they would fucking figure out the system wherein they can do that. But they can't get that because it's bad. Nobody wants that. So it's like they're fine to just use them as a political tool to get what they can. It isn't because they care about the people. And then it reminded me of Germany, oddly enough, and Angela Merkel and her whole stance on immigration, which was, yes, of course, immigrant people. Bring them all in. No, don't give a shit. Yeah, come on. Right? We have no borders. We will never be racist again, was what I mostly heard. And that was mostly what a lot of people were saying. We will never, the whole Nazi thing. This is like our fucking atonement. We're just gonna, we just destroy our culture. Don't care. We will gladly be a Muslim country. Doesn't make a difference to us. Right? Our culture is for shit. We need it to go away. And you got a lot of angry fucking people in Germany that are like, bitch, our culture since then ain't that bad. Like, what the fuck? And it reminded me a lot of Democrats. And I think that they remember that they were the party of slavery, that they were the ones that fought slavery and civil rights, Southern Democrats. Right? This is not a fucking uncommon knowledge type of thing. It's you learn about it in history class. I did. And so, maybe they're sitting there going, look, we will never be racist again. I don't know. What do you think? Like, that also seems very reasonable. That they could just be so guilt-ridden over the fact that hundreds of years ago, there was slaves. And a handful of decades ago, we stopped that shit. And really put effort into stopping it for good and true. For really reals. Right? And it's like, yeah, but the past. Yeah, but our culture now isn't so bad. It's certainly not as fucking bad as it was in, say, the 60s. Certainly not as bad as it was in, say, the 50s. Certainly not as bad as it was in, say, the 20s. So, you know? Yeah, we need a lot of work, but we've come a long way. Imagine how far we'll come with more time. Like, you're asking for people to change generationally overnight. And no, it doesn't happen like that. That's why they call it generations. You know, you guys are the millennials. You're the fucking wingnut lunatics. From what I understand, the next generation coming up has a lot better fucking heads squarely put on their shoulders. So, every once in a while, you just fucking lose one. I don't know what to tell you. Some generations, it's drugs. Right? Again, look at the 60s, 70s. We had really bad shit going on, and the revolution against that was kind of everybody's free and happy, let's just be free and happy with each other. And then everybody got free and happy with each other, and then it kind of turned into a, maybe not with everybody, and maybe not so all the time. Right? And then that turned into more of a stricter, structured thing with Reagan, and then... Does anybody else just notice the wave and the way we go? I don't know. And now, all of a sudden... You know, we fought against Reaganism and fucking Nancy and her, I don't like that music, I don't like rap. You know, fucking, we fought against that shit. And then everybody loved rap. And now it's racist to like rap if you're white. It's like, what the fuck? It's just this constant tug of war. And we hit really nice midpoints. And I'm telling you, man, in another 10, 15 years, we're going to hit a real sweet spot for a good 5 years or so. And then 10, 15 years after that, we're going to have 5 years of utter fucking insanity again. And live it up when it's good, man. But, fuck, dude, like... And some things go in broader strokes. For a long time, this country was Native American land, and fucking they had their own fucking system of slavery. And then all crazy white people came over here and just brutally murdered them all. Boy, some people need to really crack the spines of a history book. But nevertheless, white people came over, killed everybody, and drug all these black people with them. Right? And that's pretty fucking bad. And now shit's getting better. Like, it's just a, you know, much broader wave. Whatever. I don't know, man, but I think that is also, I believe, plausible.
I can't argue with that.
No.